Hello, welcome, episode 2 of season 3. And this one is basically talking about the idea of the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Now, my experience of that, I don't remember where I first heard it. It was years ago, but it really hit home with me. And the way that I've interpreted that and lived it out is that um, we are basically a walking, breathing value system. And how you value anything is how you're going to value anything, even if they're unrelated. I'll give you an example. I've noticed there tends to be a pattern that if you give, for example, someone who's conscientious in doing a task, you can give them a completely unrelated task to do. And most of the time, they're going to be conscientious in that task. And vice versa. If you give someone who tends to do the bare minimum, just enough in one task, if you give them another task, they'll probably do the bare minimum. Where this can really affect us is that this is not just about our work life. We will take that home with us. So if you go to work every day and you provide more value than you're paid for, or you have a high work ethic, or you try to set an example by doing a great job, when you go home, you take those values with you. And that's the greatest reward. I tell my team all the time that I believe, and the way I look at it is that I don't see it so much as I'm being paid to do a job. I look at it, I say to them, we're being paid to develop our character. Because who you become on the job is who you are when you go home. And that's a great way for me to look at it anyway. I've always found that. But if any of you know me personally, one of the things you'll know is I don't take life too seriously. And so for the point of this video, I'm going to break it down very simple. I get asked a lot of the times, what do you mean, talking about vision? And obviously it's something I believe in, and because it saved me. Literally saved my life, and it provided me with a new destiny. So it's always been important to me. But one of the questions I get asked is, but how? How do you create a vision? And like I said, I don't take life too seriously. I tend to copy and paste a lot of principles. I'll talk more about that in a minute. So what I mean by that is I've noticed there tends to be in life, by copying and pasting principles, that life is very, very simple, actually. With just our thinking can complicate things. Two unrelated activities, we'll say gardening and bodybuilding. Seemingly they have nothing to do with each other. However, what do you need to be a good gardener? Well, you need to know how to look after the soil. You need to know the plants. You need to know what the plants need to grow. You need to understand the conditions of the environment. You need to know the levels of hydration, what the plants basically need, the different kinds of plants, what needs to go into them to get the most out of them, really. Look at bodybuilding. What do you need? Well, you need to understand the conditions. You need to understand your body. You need to understand your muscles. You need to understand what needs to go into them to get out of them, the nutrition, the level of hydration, the level of protein, all that stuff that goes into your body, the different kinds of exercise. But basically, you need to know exactly what needs to go into your muscles to get the most out of them. And I when I look at the world and this universe, I see a lot of that. Like, there are things that you can copy and paste. Once you understand this one thing, you can apply most of it to another thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. And so I know, like I said, I don't take life too seriously. I look at it very simply. But one of the things, so what does that mean in this video? Well, I've found if you want to create a good vision for yourself, you can't do it unless you know who you are. But how, and then someone will say, well, how do I find out who I am? And again, making it very, very simple. The best way to find out who you are is to find out who you're not. Go out and try things. Try different stuff. And we've all been in a situation where maybe we're hanging out with someone where we think, oh, this person's, could be my friend. And you hang out with them and you start doing their activities, whatever it is that could be. And then you sort of go like, this is not for me. You just feel it within yourself, don't you? Right? That's all I'm talking about. Try this, try that, and you'll just feel what doesn't feel right. don't do it. Do something else. Try it. And then something will hit. But that's what I found. The process of finding out who you are, which is probably the most valuable thing you could ever do in your life. Just find out who you're not. It's a bit like looking at a playground full of children. Imagine you're a teacher and you're looking at it, and the bell goes and all the children run out to the playground with all the toys, little like 3-year-olds, right? Little ones. And there's a kid that every day goes out and picks up the same toy and does the same thing with it every single day. You kind of look at the kid and you're wishing, pick up another toy, try something else. We look at that kid and we wish they would try something new, try something different, right? Why? I feel like the universe, again, that copy and paste, the way you do everything is the way you do anything. The universe is the same. It's looking at us like the teacher. It's looking at us playing, and we wake up every day and we go do the exact same thing in the exact same way. And the universe is looking at us going, try something else. Try something different. Look, there's lots of toys around you. Pick up something else. Give it a go. Why? I think because deep down we know there is something healthier about that. When we try something different, it gives us a new perspective, it gives us new options, and it gives us a new understanding. And I think there is real health in that. And just like the analogy of the 3-year-olds playing out in the playground with the toys, I think the universe has provided this thing called life with lots of toys around. And the universe wants us to try some toys so we can, again, have that same level of health, and same level of understanding, and same level of variety, and so we can find what it is we're really meant to be playing with, and it doesn't have to be the same thing all the time. We can change those toys as we like, and we can share them. And before I go on this video, I heard something this morning actually that prompted me to make this video. I was just having lunch, and a friend of mine, Thomas Johansson Lars, he had something going on in the background, and it talked about the statue of David that Michelangelo created. And as the story goes, the Pope was asking him, now it's the greatest statue that has ever been created by a human being. How did he possibly do it? And Michelangelo's response reportedly was, it was very simple. I just chiseled away everything that wasn't David. And that's what I'm talking about. Go try lots of different things and find out what's not you, and just chisel that away until the real you is revealed. Don't be afraid to try. You're going to find who you are. And then once you've figured out who you really are, now you're in a place to create a vision for who you are. Anyway, it was more of a chat than anything else, but I just wanted to share this with you. So that's all for now. I'll see you on the next one.